Hello YouTube family, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Sharida. Welcome, and if you are a returning viewer, thank you all so much for the love and the continued support of my channel. Today's video, you guys, we are going to get into fragrances that make you smell pretty. Plain and simple. We're not doing the most. The goal is just to smell absolutely beautiful, and these fragrances do just that. So without further ado, let's jump right into today's video. Guys, so these fragrances, it's so funny because when I look at the range of fragrances that I have here, they are all like these pretty peach pink bottles and colored juices. And no wonder that they make this list, because not only do they smell and have that pretty vibe, they actually reflect it in the look of the presentation and the color of the juice. The first one on this list is new from room 1015, but you wouldn't guess that by the dent, this little dent that I got within the past week and a half. This is Sonic Flower. This is for the violet lovers. This is not necessarily violet leaf, or plant, but the orris, okay? This is definitely a very, very powdery orris root type fragrance. And this is giving me just a little bit more than what I thought I was going to get from Apollonia by Xerjoff. This is beautiful, and for a fraction of the price. So if you are a girl that loves orris roots, you need to get your nose on this, because not only is it that, it's got these extra added components of just kind of push it over the top, keep it very powdery and orris, but it gives it a little kick and a little sensuality. And that is going to be the pink pepper and the carrot seeds. So I don't know exactly what carrot seeds are supposed to smell like, but I like them in here. I did not like them in what is the Tom Ford Soleil Neige. Wasn't a fan of that fragrance. But I kind of smell like, I guess, what I would pick out. Like I can smell the similar one note in here that I did in there, and I actually do like it in here. So this has a base of ambroxan, it has cashmere, and it has musk. So it's musky, it's powdery. It's a very clean scent, but it is beautiful, okay? Again, slightly spicy, just slightly, just enough to give it some interest. And I just love covering myself in this scent. I love it. Like, the color of the juice is so pretty. And this is just going to be such a staple for me, because I personally love a good powdery fragrance for spring and maybe summer, just because it helps me to feel drier, fresher, cleaner in this humidity that we get in Georgia. But unmistakably a very beautiful, pretty scent. And again, that is Sonic Flower by Room 1015. Really been obsessing over this one lately. All right, the next one is the prettiest girl in my collection, I swear. And you probably knew she was gonna be on the list, okay? But DAMA Bianca absolutely had to be on here, because this is the prettiest little vanilla that that I've got. Like, this just screams pretty girl, period. Like, pretty girl, okay? So this too, very powdery, couple of purple flowers in here. So when you see purple flowers, you automatically know it's going to be a powdery scent. This has kumquat, which I think gives it a very unique quality. In addition to the kumquat, it also has barley. The barley, I always say this when I talk about DAMA, is going to be a make or break note. This is not going to be a safe blind buy. Very heavy on the vanilla. It's sweet. It's not going to be loud. Definitely one that sits a little closer, to the skin, but you will definitely get compliments. So it's definitely more of a scent bubble, projection performance. I feel like you're going to get a good 7 hours tops before this turns into a skin scent. Again, it's not anything too heavy. It's mostly floral, a little citrus. So it's not built to, to have the most, amazing longevity. But this one is just worth decanting and topping off if you're a girl that has to smell her fragrance all day long, 10 hours plus. Top this off and get your life, because this is such a gorgeous springtime vanilla fragrance. Really, I could see this being someone's signature scent. But this just makes you feel pretty when you put it on, period. It doesn't matter what you have on, no makeup, your hair ain't, together. If you put DAMA Bianca on, you're automatically going to have this feeling of, oh, okay, you know, I look good. I'm pretty, and that's all y'all need to know. All right. So again, Dama Bianca by Zerja from the Cosmorati line. All right. Next up is going to be DELINA La Rosee. Absolutely, you knew what DELINA was going to be on the list. Which one? You probably didn't know, but springtime. Okay. This is such a gorgeous fragrance. And I feel like if you thought the other two Delinas were just too much, okay, too powdery, or the rhubarb was too sharp in the original and too loud, La Rosee, get your nose on, because I find that somewhere along the way, if you give them all a try, you're gonna find you a Delina that works for you typically. Okay, not saying for everyone, but probably 90% of the population, they're going to find a Delina that works for them if they tried the range. So this one is definitely your fresher take on Delina. It has that Delina DNA. But one thing I love about these flankers is that they are not redundant. They all have a very, you know, specific purpose. They all have the same DNA, but give a different vibe. And they just are very necessary. That's why I have all three. Never would I probably have like three of something, like flanker after flanker after flanker. I'm not really a flanker girl. Now I will buy a flanker, but I'm not gonna have like three or four of the, but these, they're necessary. Okay. So this, again, a watery take on Delina, not a watered down take on Delina. It is very fresh, and I like the fact that it reflects that in the bottle, because this is definitely fresher, watery, peony. You've got some pear, just gorgeous. And even though you feel like this is wearing not as loud as the other two Delinas, you still garner compliments off of this, because you wouldn't think that everyone around you can smell you, but it still has gorgeous performance for a fresher scent. So if you're looking for something a little fruity with a rose, you know, and a peony, or something that is very, very feminine and girly to its core, Delina La Rosee is definitely one that you should try out, because I love this one for this time of year. Again, Delina La Rosee by Parfums de Marly. All right, guys, so next up on the list is one that I got a decant of, and I pretty soon after decided that I wanted a full bottle. This is from the house of Dusita, and this is Fleur de Lalita. So this house, you guys, if you love floral fragrances, I mean like unmistakably floral fragrances, but you want to smell unique, this is the house that I feel like you need to explore, because I have never smelled florals that smell like the ones she formulates for this house. Um, Now, Fleur de Lis is very beautiful. It is white. It's got some yellow florals in there to balance it, but it is very green. So you've got this galbanum in the opening, and it does come across as very, like, very, very green, but I feel like it calms down as it starts to dry down. And then you get into this gorgeous ambrette, okay? Gorgeous ambrette that you really, really pick up on this particular fragrance. And it has exotic florals, which is something just a part of this DNA. You have no idea what the concoction of exotic florals are, but you undoubtedly smell exotic when you wear this woman's fragrances, okay? So, oh God, it is something just very sensual, almost very intoxicating about these fragrances when you breathe them in. It's very hard to describe, and these are just fragrances you have to try on your skin. Okay, so it has a base of ambergris, sandalwood, a touch of Madagascan vanilla, and tonka bean. So a little powdery, very green, very white floral, but also balanced with the yellow florals. And I feel like the star is this gorgeous magnolia accented with exotic feminine qualities. So, I mean, it is chef's kiss. I will be taking this one with me on vacation, because when I put on my little dress and we going to dinner and I just want to feel like my most exotic self in Waikiki, this is what I'm wearing, okay? So a little elevated, but very, very floral and unique in my opinion. Fleur de Lalita by Dusita, pretty girl heaven. So the next one has like pink pretty written all over it because the presentation is just absolutely stunning. Okay, the gold flakes, they just do it for me. And the fact that they had changed up the color of the bottle to speak to me. All right, this is Pink Me Up by Atelier des Soeurs. Very slow burning for me. I felt like this was just very okay at first, and then the more I wore it, oh my god, it's like now I gotta have this to layer with this and layer with that. And when I just want to feel super pretty, this is what I pull for. This is rose champagne. I feel like the champagne is not anything that's going to be too overbearing or come across as too like alcoholic boozy. This is going to just lend it a very effervescent quality. It's sparkling, you know, it's bubbly, but it's accented with blackberry, which to me comes across just a little smoother and a little, I don't know, juicier and elevated over a black currant. I like black currant, but I feel like it's really overdone right now, especially in the designer world. And a blackberry with this beautiful champagne, this gorgeous centifolia rose, which I absolutely love, that honeyed, you know, fleshy, fragrant, exotic rose. This is so pretty. It is so pretty. It's nothing that is going to like just you know, shake the ground and change the world, but it is pretty. That you can say. And something about when you start to wear, it's musky, okay? You've got some purple florals, I think, in the base or the mid, and it becomes this beautiful, musky, sweet, you know, blackberry champagne experience. And it comes together to create something that is just so feminine and gorgeous, in my opinion. All right, so that again is Pick Me Up by Atelier des Soeurs. So next one, what I tell y'all, these bottles, they are speaking pretty girl language. All right, House of Sillage HAUTS Bijou is gorgeous. So this is one that features a black currant, but it also has this gorgeous opening of, I feel like, equal parts mango grapefruit. So this is, spring is here. We may be getting ready to heat up for summer. Like, this is going to be your spring and summer pretty girl scent. But there is just something a little elevated about it. It has a middle floral note of Caru Carande, which I think is supposed to be in the family of like an orange blossom. It's a white floral, but I feel like it's giving it some type of a unique quality. This comes across as very powdery because it does have a middle note of iris, which is purple floral, and you have heliotrope in the base. So with the purple florals, definitely expect something powdery that's going to balance off the sweetness. So even though you've got, you know, these juicy fruits at the top, it does not come across as something, you know, too youthful, too fruity. And it's balanced with amber. So it's got ambery quality, cedar in the base, and vanilla. Beautiful base. It is just compliments, okay? You wear this, I wear this to work, and it's like women are stopping me in the parking lots of the Publix and like, what is that? You know, what do you have on? It smells so pretty. This is one, it, like, men may not really, but the women, what is that? Okay, so pretty girl from one to another, they love this fragrance because this one I feel like really gets the attention of other women as far as a compliment factor. But if you want to feel very pink, okay, but still sophisticated, this is the fruity floral that you need to get your nose on. This one is so beautiful, easy to wear, grab and go, but still very elevated, okay? In true House of Sillage fashion, again, that is HAUTS Bijou by House of Sillage. All right, next up is going to be the original Mon Guerlain de EDP. This definitely is just so pretty. Like, this designer, I always forget how beautiful this fragrance is until I actually take this cap off and sniff it or wear it. This is one of my first fragrances that, you know, my collection really started to get going. One of the first designers that I added into my collection, I think at the time, I had one designer fragrance by Cartier, which was like the one I always wore. And then I started to get into my niche. But as far as designers, this one I added because it was super popular, you know, upon its release. And for good reason. Like, this is how you do a lavender and vanilla and floral fragrance. So this for designer has such complexity to it, and it is no wonder that it is so popular for the Guerlain house. So this has lavender and bergamot in the opening, but you are going to get lavender throughout the life of this fragrance. This is without a doubt, you know, a lavender forward scent. Now the lavender is not quite as punchy as it starts to dry down, but you have these middle notes of iris and rose and jasmine. Okay, can we get any more feminine than that trio? The base, it is rounded out by a very warm tonka bean, again, vanilla. You've got Australian sandalwood, some licorice, which is quite prominent. I think you do have to like licorice to like the original EDP. You have some benzoin and a very beautiful clean patchouli. Gorgeous masterpiece of a designer fragrance, in my opinion, and one that I would probably always have in my collection. Love this one. And this one just says pretty girl prim. We put together, we're somebody's wife, we control the bank account, we just, you know, like everyday pretty beautiful quintessential feminine fragrance. That is what this is, and it's not going to break the bank. When anyone ever asks me for recommendations for designer fragrances, this is always the number one that I throw out, because I feel like so many people love it and it's such a crowd pleaser, but still very wearable, pretty, and unique at the same time. So next up is going to be from the house of La Perla, and this is Invisible Touch. This fragrance is just, oh my God, this is like aldehyde heaven. If you like aldehydes, okay, this is for you. Like, this is for you. It's aldehydes, it's floral, it's fresh, it's very clean, and it's so pretty. Like, look at this bottle. Look at the bottle, okay? The feel, the vibe of this beautiful bottle is how you're going to feel when you put this on. This is not going to be loud. It's not going to announce your presence. You're going to smell it. It's going to have like this close to the skin experience. So you know you smell good. If you come close to someone, they're going to smell you. You're going to smell very elegant. It has some ambery tones to it. So it's giving it a little body. Very violet heavy, okay? So I always say, if you tried Glossier You, but it just wasn't giving what you thought it was going to give, like the scent was just a little too light, it just wasn't doing enough, give this one a try. Invisible Touch is beautiful. You've got some yellow florals in there that kind of keep it from getting too sharp, because it is, you know, very fresh, and it doesn't fall flat because it has these woody components. It has a little touch of sweetness. It has a base of ambroxan, benzoin, rosewood, and patchouli. So a beautiful base, and I just feel like this is such a gorgeous, gorgeous feminine floral fragrance that, again, this is for the girl who loves a good freshie. All right, freshie elevated. Invisible Touch by La Perla. All right, you guys, so that is our video for today. Drop me a comment below. Let me know fragrances that you pull out to feel pretty. Okay, these are not doing the most, but they get the job done when we are trying to go after, you know, that vibe. These are pretty girl fragrances, and they smell phenomenal. Each and every last one of these, I must say. All right, so make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Be sure the notification bell is turned on to all so you don't miss any of my uploads. And be sure to give the video a big thumbs up as it helps the channel to grow. You guys, it has been real. I love you all, YouTube, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.